Hello everyone, my name is Dead Gambit and welcome back to another tutorial, and this tutorial is going to be working on a simple boss cutscene. Now, if you have visited my channel for the first time, you probably have noticed that I have a video called 5 Noobs Enter a Boss Room. That was a development video of mine featuring a little boss scene that I had set up. This video wasn't requested, but I did have someone ask me if I can give them the scripts for it. Sadly, I'm sorry to say, I don't give out scripts that I've worked on for games, for active games that are being developed. That's not something I do. It's a very touchy subject, but I will help you get the right building blocks to make something of that caliber or even better. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm sorry I can't give out the scripts that I used in that video, but I can help you, help you get on the ground running so that you can, make your own. So anyways, the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to make a folder. And I'm going to call this folder Camera Nodes. And this folder is going to hold all of our camera objects for the scene. So next I'm going to, and it's a really simple setup. So what I did, first I'm going to insert a part. There we go. So here's our part. And let me see, I'm going to look at it real quick. A lot of things have changed in Roblox, so I'm not exactly sure. They used to be able to show you the faces. But anyways, like you were able to see like which is the front, which is the back, the left or the right. Anyways, I'm gonna go into the toolbox and go to images, and I'm just gonna pick a random decal. Okay, there we go. Drag and drop it on there. Oops, gotta get rid of that one. Pick a random decal, and I'm going to set it to the front. All right, so this is the front, obviously. You can also use this as your orientation. I just like to make sure that that part is actually the front. It doesn't hurt to double check. But anyways, this is the the reason why I inserted a part is because this is what your camera is going to be directed to. And based on where this part is facing, that is where your camera will be facing. The camera angle will be facing. So if it's turned, I'm gonna just guesstimate 45 degrees here, then your camera, let's just do a little quick simulation. Your camera is going to turn and be looking in this same direction. And if it was turned 90 degrees here, your camera would be facing over here. So let me go back and zero everything out. So this will be our first position for the camera. All right, and we are going to call this Cam 1. All right, let's duplicate it. Drag this out and call this Cam 2. Let's bring it, and you can put it anywhere you want, really. I'm going to let's see. How about we have the camera, whoops. We have the camera, we'll make it face this way, so that way it'll go here, it'll be looking over there, it'll be looking, and then let's see. Let me duplicate. drag this out, call this cam 3. We'll sort of do like a whole look around thing. So we'll have them look, well, the camera facing over here. So let's see, it'll be like da 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 da. So I think I'm going to use 5 cameras. See, we have cam 5. And if you know, most boss scenes, they like to be super dramatic. So let's have it face over there. So we'll go da 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 da, and then, oops, this is supposed to be camera 4. Excuse me. And then we'll finally duplicate this. Do I want it like that? Yeah, I guess I can. So I'm going to zero this out. The orientation, by the way. I will zero this out. Drop it here, drop it here. Drop it, oops. Go away. Drop it here. I'll name this cam 5. And let's see, what are we going to use for a boss? Let's use a dummy. There we go. It could be R15, it could be R6. Really doesn't matter. So there you go. So if I'm not mistaken, so it'll start from here, it'll go here, 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 and then, or I'm sorry, it will look out here, and then the camera will turn around and sort of just pan back into place. I can't really aim it well, but it'll back into this one where we will be front and center in front of our boss. Well, the camera will, your player won't. So go ahead and anchor these. Let's turn off can collision and then anchor them. So that way that they won't fall into the, fall all over the place, because then that will mess up everything. So the next thing is we're going to put in a trigger part. The trigger part is going to be separate from the camera nodes, so just insert a part into the workspace like normal. And we will call this the trigger. This will be anchored. I'm going to turn can collide off, and I'm going to maybe resize it to just be 2, maybe 1. 1 is good. 1 is good. And all it has to do is the player just simply has to walk through it. We'll set the dimensions as 1, and we're going to put in a bool value. And this bool value will be activated, and by default it's active. It'll be set to false. So let's put in a script. We'll call this the control script, and then let's put in a local script, and this will be our cutscene, and we're going to keep that disabled. Now go ahead and close the cutscene script and go back to the control script. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to, well, simply we're just going to make a function. It's going to be function on touched hit, and hit represents whatever part of the player is going to be interacting with the actual trigger. So that could be the torso, your leg, your hand, your head, your humanoid root part even. So now we're going to do if script dot parent dot dot activated dot value is true, then I'm sorry, not as true, if it's false, then we're going to set it to true. Script dot parent dot activated dot value equals true. And then the next thing we're going to do is okay, so I believe, so now we're going to if you remember that cutscene script that we have, we're going to actually put that into the player that touched it, as well as all the other players who are currently in the server. And this whole setup is good for dungeon like games. So let me, if I remember correctly, it goes something like 4 players and I pairs game dot players get players do, and then local characters equal players dot character. So let me make a quick reference. Local cutscene equals script dot parent dot cutscene. So then we can do local clone equals cutscene clone, and then clone dot parent equals, actually we don't even need that because we're sending it to, let's do this, let's send it to the player script. So let's do local player scripts equals players dot player scripts, and then clone dot parent will be sent to player scripts. Now, if I am not mistaken, as soon as the player touches the brick, he and everyone in the server should receive that cutscene script inside the player scripts folder. So I'm gonna do a quick test, and I'm gonna play here because I don't want to spawn directly on the part yet. All right, so I'm gonna look at my player scripts. Let's see. Hopefully this works. Doesn't look like it did. It's not giving me feedback either. Let me... Oh, you know what? The reason why it's not working is because I only made the function. So it's something that you should be aware of. Sometimes it's not enough to just make the function. You actually have to call that function. So it'll be script.parent.touched connect ontouched. So this is what's going to call that function. So now hopefully it should work. So I go here, I'm going to open my player script, and then I'm going to walk over here. It says player scripts is not a valid member of players.deadgambit. Is that also hidden from the... Oh, okay, yeah, so that's hidden from the server. So then instead of doing that, you just said we can send it to player GUI. It would have been easier to send it to player scripts, because even if the player happens to reset or somehow dies or whatever while the cutscene was playing, it won't reset. Now, if you do want to, we can prevent the cutscene from being reset when the player dies by simply creating a GUI object. We'll call it the cutscene handler, and we'll set respawn to false. And then we can simply just do players.playerGUI.cutscene handler, and then it'll just parent itself into this. And that way, if the player happens to reset, he will still be in the you'll still be locked into the cutscene. So anyways, let's test that. Let me open this up. Not player scripts, but player GUI. I see my cutscene handler, and I'm pretty sure, yep, the server can see that. So let's go ahead. See, and look at that. I have the cutscene, and if I keep walking in it, I can no longer collect it because it's already activated. So anyways, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to disable or enable it. So the clone, which is the cutscene that we made, it's going to be clone.disabled equals false. So that's pretty much it for the trigger part here. Okay, so we're going to close out of the control script, and then we're going to look at our cutscene script. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make reference to our tween service. So it'll be local tween service equals game get service tween service. And then we're also going to make reference to our camera. It'll be local main camera equals workspace dot current camera. And then we're going to set the camera type to scriptable. So that would be main camera dot camera type equals enum camera type that's scriptable. So we're gonna actually make a for loop. It'll be for I equals 1, and we made 5 camera nodes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it will be do for I5 do local TI stands for tween info equals, equals tween info dot new, and we'll have it, we'll make the duration 2 seconds. Enum dot easing style, I'll set it to quad. Enum dot direction will be to out. Actually, what else? I think cubic was the smoother one, so we'll set the, I'm sorry, not out, but the direction will be in. And then we'll set the delay duration to 0 because we don't want to delay. So then we'll go to our local, we'll make another variable called local goal equals, and this is where we're going to start our C-frame. Our C-framing for the camera. It'll be workspace dot camera nodes, wait for child cam I dot C-frame. So the goal is to have the camera have the same C-frame as our camera nodes. And then we actually create the tween itself. So it'll be tween equals tween service create main cam TI and the goal. And then we want our tween to play. But the last part is very important. As soon as the tween is finished, we use the completed function. We say wait. So if you've used animations before, you would know, you should probably know about animation.stopped. Or if you have used, is it only with animations? No, music also has the same thing. So music dot stopped, I don't really know the exact word for it. It's like stopped wait, and this is tween has the same thing. It's tween dot completed wait, and this means that it's going to loop through all 5 of our cameras, and it's going to, and as it's counting up from 1 to 5, it's going to wait between each tween. So it's going to wait the 2 seconds for each tween until it's finished, until it moves us on to our next camera object. So let's go ahead and test that out. I touch the trigger and it goes. Beautiful. It goes straight through and pans out, and we see our boss. So that works. All right. Okay, so we no longer, let's see. We can actually delete this because I don't need that. We no longer need that. So let's see about bringing our boss. Oops. So let's go back to our control script, and actually let's look at the cutscene. So it's looping through all 5 of these cameras for a duration of 2 seconds. So I'm just going to put a simple wait for 10 seconds, and let's call you boss. we're going to throw you into the server storage. I'm going to do game dot server storage dot boss clone dot parent equals game dot workspace. So as soon as we wait our 10 seconds or whatever, that's when the boss is going to come in. Oops. Did not mean to spawn here, so I touch the activator. It's looping through the cameras. And bam, there's our boss in all of his glory. Let's see what else. I guess we can add some music to it as well. Let's see. It seems about good. So let me make a folder. We'll call it music. Where'd I go? I don't know where it went. Okay, I guess I'll just have an audio thing just hanging around. So that'll be our boss music. Let's what about an encounter music though? See about that. Alright, that sounds good, but I want it longer. I like this boss music better. So I'm gonna put that in here actually and get rid of this. And this will be boss music. And actually, let's have the boss already spawned in at 9. What about some eerie? Is that how you spell eerie? Eerie music? They're all from Roblox. That'll do. That will do. Okay. So let's put in a folder in our workspace. And we'll call it music queue. And we'll have, let's make a reference to it. Game.workspace.music queue. So let's make a reference to the music folder inside of our server storage. So then we'll have music folder dot eerie, or let's do this, local eerie equals music folder dot eerie clone eerie dot parent equals music queue eerie, then plays, and then we'll wait the 9 minutes or 9 seconds, I mean, and Eerie will stop playing, and we'll have local boss music equals music folder dot boss music clone boss music parent equals music queue boss music dot wait, did I put, I'm sorry, boss music plat play, right? And let me get rid of the space that I for some reason put in there, and let me go ahead and test it out. Oops. So I'll go here, and here's the music playing. And there we go. Then we have the music playing. Now, when all this is finished, we actually have to go back to the cutscene. Almost forgot about this. It's very important. We want the main camera to go back to being in the player's control. So I believe that was custom. Custom is the default. So let's see. So the cutscene is playing. We got the eerie music. We're looking around. This is us looking around the room. And then there's the boss. Let's give this a small wait. A 1 second wait. Because I still want you to be looking at the boss. Alright, so we touch it, the eerie music's playing, it's going through all our nodes. And there's the boss, and there's us, and now we can have our epic duel. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Obviously, you're going to want to set these to transparent so that we can't see it. You do want the trigger to be visible, so you can, what I did for my game was I set it to transparent, but I had a particle. I used one of those particles from the particle packs. It's that one that's like a glowing ball. I had that, so even though you can't see the actual part, you can still see like this little white glowing ball, and you know, that's a good indicator that, hey, that's something that I should interact with. That's what the player should be thinking, at least. And so, but yeah, that's it for the most part. Get rid of the decals, obviously. You just have a bunch of floating faces in here. That's not what you want. And then let's do a quick run of it without the without all the ugliness in front of you. So here's our trigger, and here we go. Pretend we're in a room and the camera is panning around the room, and we get to the boss. There we go. Perfect. We did it. So that is about it. Like I said, this wasn't really requested, but somebody did ask how I was able to pull this off. Obviously I didn't go into how I animated the boss and everything, because this video would be far more longer if I went into all that. I just wanted to basically give you guys the basics of making the cutscene. So anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe, as it does help the channel immensely. And if you're already subscribed, do not forget to hit that notification bell. That is because, you know, if you want to get there, if you want to be the first one to watch these videos and get a head start on your game or whatever, it's going to be very good for you to do. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next tutorial.